I just want to start off the episode by saying, man, as a Canadian and as a Somalilander, I'm heartbroken by the Queen's passing. Just can we get a moment of silence for her and Tuchel's departure, please, and thank you.
Queen Daenerys? The only queen I know.
We're still moment of
Wait,
silence.
are you serious, Mo?
Moment of silence, please, and thank you.
No.
I thought
Listen,
this was
Respectfully, but I'm not on that.
I'm really mourning the Queen, bro. Just please.
Okay. Too cool.
Did I say that?
No.
My fault. Oh, we're good. We're done.
If this was on Discord, I would have sent you the RIP Bozo meme. The guy's dancing with the coffin.
Bro, I'm tearing up right now. Please, the Queen passed. Please.
Oh man.
Arif, we waited for this moment.
I know.
No one believed us. People attacked us for our opinions.
Oh, we got
it's not even related.
We got attacked. No. We got attacked.
What?
It's okay, but
it's not related to our opinions.
No.
It's okay. Sorry. Before we get into it, let's let Big Fish take it from here.
Ladies and gentlemen, all across the world, welcome to 11 on 11 Tuesdays. I just want to give a big shout out to the big three up top, Arif, aka two-leg tackle, aka Brexit football.
This is Tiki Taka football, Guardiola football.
Next, Ace, talent ID, yeah?
He was never that good. He was never that guy. I'll be honest with you.
Next up, our big man up top, Mo Salah.
Wallahi, I got time today, brother. I got time today.
Every Tuesdays.
So basically, I'm scrolling through Twitter, and these guys who have a podcast called M1 Podcast, they do like a freestyle every podcast. And today, or whatever their last episode, they did one about Chelsea. So here, just listen to it.
Should we just do Chelsea in general?
Yeah. Let's do Chelsea bars. Leave them niggas right back like Ivanovic. He got banned from his block like Abramovich.
Bang from his block like a Planovic. Put 10 in his back like Drogba. 6 like Pogba. 10 like Mata.
Yeah.
Aim for your head. Blood them splatter. The shit don't matter. I talk real, the man of cappers.
I'll be right back like Reece James. I put the ball in and she came. Listen, said she liked me cause she's happy. I put the tackle in like I'm Aspie. Them niggas just singing like the Pavarotti. I'm the man in charge, call me Angelotti. Yo, or maybe Jose. I ain't getting one, I'm the special one. This thing got teeth like a Suarez. Got the drop, but it flop like it's Torres. Flop Fernando Torres. Yeah.
Yo. My boys in the kitchen, cooking coke, no cola. I'll be on the wing, scoring goals like Zola.
I get paid in cash, I don't need a check. This girl shit, keep it like
Beat a check.
Hey, beat a check. Listen.
Like Peter Check, I take her to France. I'm on the ferry. I'm stay centre back like Terry.
Like Terry. Or with me, it really could get messy. Listen, I can do a cough because I don't feel well. She like my style and say I chill well. Listen, she feeling tipsy because she drank hard. Baby,
Okay.
Frank Lampard. Hey, fast cars.
Stop, that's a hazard.
Bro, that's
One bar that didn't make sense though. I rate it.
Which
There's one bar where they went 10 like Drogba. Drogba's number 11.
Yeah, no, I think I got the numbers off. No, but these guys do it often
The rest
though.
was sick. The rest of it
That was sick. That was sick. Nah, shout out to them. Shout out to them.
Who is it? Who is this?
This is the M1 podcast. There's one kid. His name is Billy. I think he's kind of popular. But
I seen that Billy the Goat or something like that, right?
I think he was on Filthy before.
Yeah,
Right.
kid's funny.
Yeah.
I'm gonna definitely check him out. But Manda, we need to talk about a lot. Surprisingly, no Premier League football this weekend, unfortunately, but there's still a lot to talk about. We had some big, important events that happened during the week. We have Champions League back, we have Europa League back, and we're gonna start off with a moment of silence. Again, from our question from Nabil, let's have a moment of silence for Tuchel, surely.
Yes, please.
Well,
Yeah, please.
you doing? You okay?
It's been 100 games of Tuchel, Champions League, multiple cup finals. We're gonna miss him, and so
R.I.P. Bozo.
Hey, respect, please, respect. Respect. Oh, you can't see me right now, but I'm doing the Jose 3. Respect.
Oh, if you're doing if you're channeling the real best Chelsea manager ever, then I'll respect it. Okay.
But all right, let's actually get into it because we have a lot of questions related to Chelsea this weekend.
All right, yeah, let's go.
First question from Austin: Chelsea and Tuchel. We're gonna start off with our brother Mo. Take it from here. Thoughts, man? You okay?
I think he said something wild after the Zagreb game. I think they had a meeting. I think he said something crazy. That's the only thing that makes sense. Because a week ago, I don't know what he said, but a week ago they're talking about how they're going to give him a new contract, regardless of how the.
No, not they. He was talking about it. Let's be very clear.
Apparently, there was a verbal agreement.
Came from management, like the owners, like their camp was saying, yeah, they're planning to re-sign Tuchel for the long term or whatever. Mm-hmm. And after the Zagreb game, he just got fired, like just quickly, just randomly fired. Nobody expected him to get fired. There's no murmurs of him like on the hot seat. So my thing is, I think he definitely said something crazy. Got into probably an argument after the game, said something crazy, and then Todd was like, all right, you out of here. Because apparently the next morning is when he fired him, and Tuchel wasn't expecting.
Can I just repeat a quote from Joe Cole? So I think he was on BT and he said this. He said, honestly, I somehow feel Todd has been talking to Graham, as in Graham Potter, this whole while and has been receiving his affirmation to the signings we all thought they were making for Tuchel. No surprises. He also plays Tuchel's formations. It looks more or less like the sack was planned well before now. The Zagreb show was just used as an excuse. You can't tell me some of the players don't know about the plan and deliberately down tools to hasten the sack. End quote. But
why would you sign a Aubameyang?
No. I'm saying that.
Why would you?
I don't agree with everything that he said, but it did feel like this was a foregone conclusion. I don't think the result had any bearing on the sack. I don't think Tuchel saying a particular statement had any bearing on the sack. I think this was always going to happen, honestly, because that isn't a decision that necessarily makes too much sense unless it was planned from before and you had other plans for the whole club moving forward, and you just needed a right time. Like you could not sack him in the summer without the whole Chelsea fan base fighting you.
Easy could have.
No, he could not. No, he could not.
They got rid of Czech when people didn't want them to get rid of Czech. Easy could have. I don't see. It's a new management. They want to do things their way. That could have easily been the reason.
But I don't know. I just disagree.
It's a sticky one. There's a whole article on The Athletic that I highly recommend you all read it. It really goes into detail related to the sacking and the relationship that Tuchel has somewhat had in this 2-3 months with Boli. Mm-hmm. It's kind of crazy when you really look into it. So apparently in their first ever meeting with Boli and Mo, what's his name? The other co-owner, Ekbali, the other.
I don't know. I know he's talking about the Clearwater guy.
Yeah, he plays a big part in this sacking. So hear this out. A meeting was drawn up with Boli and Ekbali about recruitment. And Boli and Ekbali wanted to show Tuchel and his team for players to recruit in a 4-4-3. You take what I said? You mean? No.
4-4-3?
4-3. This is a fact.
No keeper?
It's 12 players, actually. They definitely have a keeper.
What the hell?
That was apparently the first meeting ever with Tuchel. And Tuchel and his team was already kind of thrown off with it.
It wasn't like a misspeak or something? Like...
No, I don't know. This is from what I'm seeing from the article. This is what The Athletic put out. I don't know all the details, but apparently Tuchel and his team were kind of thrown off at the beginning, and they're just like, all right, okay, this is what we're dealing with now, kind of thing. Another issue that seemed to be related to it was recruitment. And again, according to Athletic, Boli openly described Tuchel as a nightmare to deal with on recruitment. And this was from a Premier League executive who leaked this information. Obviously, we don't know who it is. But then another source says Tuchel stated that him and his head coaches were all involved in every signing except Dennis Zakaria. And the reason apparently Boli said it was a nightmare to work with Tuchel, all the signings he's made, none of them he wanted. He wanted that Cristiano deal to go through really badly, apparently. He wanted to make that big name signing. Tuchel stepped down. He said, nah, no way. And then obviously the whole Lukaku situation. And then deadline day, you sign Aubameyang, which, to be fair, obviously probably Cristiano's a better suit, better big name for your one of your first signings as ownership. But anyways, there's a lot of things that went down. And apparently Tuchel wasn't happy with Boli. Apparently he didn't get the players he wanted. I heard there was a wish list. Again, on Athletic, they said Tuchel had a wish list of Matthias de Ligt, Rafinha, Frankie de Jong, Kimpembe, but Boli and Ekbali were first in certain recruitment, like Ronaldo and Jules Koundé, who, again, another player that Tuchel didn't even want. and they were really forcing that transfer. So the whole thing is there was a lot of mess, obviously. There was a lot of stuff going on, but I think there's a lot more that we don't know, though. That was kind of under the radar.
I just want to say quickly, if Tuchel's saying no about Ronaldo, I mean, most of the world didn't want Ronaldo. Maybe because of his contract, maybe because of how they play, whatever the case is. Atletico didn't want him. I think he was trying to go back to Juve or something. They didn't want him. Bayern didn't want him. Nobody wanted Ronaldo. I don't know why Todd's pushing for we got to get Ronaldo.
Thing is, you guys don't have a striker, though.
Honestly, that's fine. I don't think Ronaldo fits in our system. I don't think he's not what we need.
Under the Tuchel system, I agree. It definitely doesn't suit it.
I think he can play
like a 9, right?
He can
who knows?
Play.
We don't know.
It's Ronaldo. I'm not saying he can't play. What I'm saying is he just doesn't, at his age, at where the team's going, he doesn't fit the team. And for Tuchel to say no, and you expect him to be your director of football in this time period because you fired Czech. If he says no, that's not a player we need in the system. You just have to take his word.
No, but the thing is about all the disputes between ownership and manager. Isn't that somewhat normal? Disagreeing on signings or saying, I don't want this player, but you want this player. Isn't that like status quo for managing a football team and the operations of a football team? You're not always going to agree with something. I don't think it is that crazy of a difference, but I guess it is if you're the new owner and you want to kind of put your foot down. But like just another comparison, I have a friend who got a job at an American company, and he's telling me that the main difference between working in an American company and a Canadian company is that the Americans are ruthless. If they don't like something or it's not going how they want it to go, they'll cut you off immediately. So this kind of feels like a little bit of that. Just, hey, I don't think this can work. I'd rather just cut it early. There's no waiting for decisions. There won't ever be a situation with like All In United where you're kind of in limbo about, it's okay, but sometimes it's not. No, it's like, if I don't like it, I think it won't be good for the future, we're going to cut it off early. So I respect that part of the decision. Not necessarily that I agree with the sacking, but I guess just the immediate action is something that I can applaud. I'm sure, like, even as a Chelsea fan, Mo, you would say the same. Just immediate action, being decisive.
I'd say this. I'd say this.
Even if it is too early, just immediate action, I think that's a good thing.
A lot of the gripes, it sounds like, that they had with Tuchel is his perspective on where the club should go and the players should sign and that kind of stuff. And if we're going to be fair to Tuchel, he didn't ask for that position. He wanted Czech to stay. He wanted him to have the director of football role that he had, which would have been an intermediary between the management, like the managing and the coaching, and the ownership would have been the director of football. But because they got rid of it, they put him in this position. And now that he's directly opposing you, you have issues with him, which they should have that line of communication with having director of football. If you can get rid of Czech, hire somebody right away.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's not fair to Tuchel to ask him to that position, and then you're stretching him thin, and now he's asking his coaches to do some other management roles that they shouldn't be doing. They should just be coaching. And now he's constantly agitated, naturally. So he's doing 5 different jobs, and you're gonna fire him after that. After he stuck by you in the sanctions, right? Yeah. He stuck by the club in sanctions. Said he'll do whatever you want. Always gave such a public image of you, like a good public image of you. Didn't when it came to the public, never talk bad about you, right? You had some.
Who's the one making these footballing decisions right now? Because clearly Chelsea had a plan. No, but like outside of Tuchel, obviously that's the obvious for now.
Todd,
Checo's gone. Marino's gone. Todd, the 4-4-3 guy. Like, I don't know.
No, not him. He's just investor.
Bro. No. He has the advanced.
But I'm saying, like, who was behind? Like, for example, Graham Potter signing. Clearly, there was a plan there.
But he has an advanced analytics team that I think they stated this somewhere in the article, or it's in a different article. He has an advanced analytics teams that he uses to base his decisions around. That's why they were so heavy for what's the Everton kid with the blonde hair? Anthony Gordon. That's why they were so in for him, because they liked the metrics that he was putting up, and they felt like, he would have an effect on the team. But Tuchel wasn't necessarily all in. And I'm telling you guys, the hindsight makes this a lot clearer. Because if you look back in preseason, I remember questioning why Tuchel was fielding some of the players he was fielding, because they're not going to play. Like Kennedy, he was not going to play. Why was he playing in preseason? So that kind of gives a little glimpse as to what was going on behind the scenes. There might have been problems. And even with certain players like Koundé and maybe Gordon, why they're not here? Because if the club is in for you, but then the manager isn't really too friendly in the meetings, or he's not really having the sort of, I don't want to call it respect, but you're not as comfortable with your conversations with him, Yeah, because, you know, you could see that something's off. So I guess the hindsight makes this very, very clear.
I'm glad you brought that up.
I'm glad on the Anthony Gordon one, bro. 60 mil would have been crazy.
That guy.
I'm actually a fan of this.
He has under 10 Premier League goals in his career so far.
No, but from what we've seen, especially this season, I'm boys. Too soon to judge, but I like what I'm seeing. But I want to stick to topic here, and Ace brought it up, the players in terms of happiness and whatever. You're talking about players that were linked with Chelsea. Players that are currently in Chelsea who are under contract with Chelsea were unhappy with Tuchel. Like we can't ignore that. Like the whole Lukaku situation. Timo Werner, didn't he have a big argument with Tuchel in front of the players during preseason, right before he left, Mo? Maybe you have more information on me, more than me. Ziyech, I think that's a little obvious that there's an issue there. Pulisic, Callum Hudson-Odoi. So it's kind of being a pattern. Look, I'm not trying to defend Boli, but there was issues in the back, you know? So
we saw what happened with Lukaku. Tuchel was completely in the right with Lukaku. You can't say that, like, the way that he handled it publicly, you can't say that Lukaku wasn't at fault. I fully think that was on him.
No,
right?
But to give him right back, like, for nothing, when you didn't have a striker,
that's a top decision.
A striker in mind too.
I'm with get rid of him. Get rid of him. Why would you want to poison in the locker room?
If you get rid of someone, you're a Chelsea Football Club. Right. You have to replace him with someone reliable. You literally didn't have a striker. You brought Broha. You barely give him minutes.
I understand.
You want to bring in Aubameyang? Look, I'm a big Aubameyang guy, but like that's kind of crazy. Deadline day.
I would have been perfectly okay with bringing no striker and getting rid of Lukaku. You can't have somebody like that in the locker room. You can't. He's just gonna constantly be negative towards everything. He's gonna make other players' perspectives look negatively towards a coach. And then after, it's just gonna spread throughout the team. You can't have it. You can't have him in the locker room. Period. He has no respect for the coach. He has no respect for the club. You got to get rid of him.
But you don't think that relationship could have been fixed? You know, it could have been.
It was done by.
Now there's a new manager that could have, that could have been all avoided.
I still don't want him back. I still don't want him back because that's how you treat your manager within 3 months. There's no way I want you back with another manager. I don't want you at all near this club. You have no respect for the people around you.
I hear that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm starting to see patterns.
Warner, Timo Werner. We can't say Tuchel didn't give him a lot of chances. He just doesn't. He couldn't score.
Yeah.
Mo, but do you not feel like Tuchel has a little bit of accountability
in terms of finishing? For Werner, absolutely.
In terms of relationships,
I'll say with Hudson-Odoi and Pulisic, yeah, I agree. There'll be times where they're starting to get a form and they get pulled, which I think, he should have handled them better. But when it comes to Lukaku, when it comes to Werner, and when it comes to Ziyech, I don't think so. I don't think he handled them poorly at all.
I disagree.
I think he did give those players chances. But I think the relationship is beyond chances.
I completely disagree, boys.
Look at Timo Werner. Okay, they had their argument. People have arguments at workplaces all the time. Right?
Yep.
You don't see him saying anything negative about Tuchel. It didn't work. Then he went back to Leipzig. It is what it is. None of them have anything negative to say about each other. They had a very professional, amicable relationship. With Ziyech, he wanted to go to Ajax. Ajax didn't want to buy it. It was that simple. The only players I'd fault him for is Hudson-Odoi and Pulisic. That's it.
I mean, there's a couple more too. Like, there's a lot of young players that he there's a lot of young players that he gave away.
Billy
Gilmore.
That was this offseason. He stagnated.
Hold on, bro. You guys were crying.
You're telling me he stagnated?
What did he do last season alone?
That is so poor. That is so poor.
He was poor last season. Mo was right. He was very bad for Norwich.
No, I know. He didn't play good. But come on, man. He's a talent. He's a talent, bro.
Okay,
come
we'll
on.
see. He's in Brighton now. We'll see.
What do you mean you'll see? You can't see no more. He's gone.
He's in Brighton. That's what I'm saying. If Tuchel's wrong, we'll see in Brighton.
This is poor. Mo used to brag about how this guy was man of the match in every.
He went on loan 2 years in a row and didn't do anything.
No, but
man. He never got a chance for Chelsea. He never got a chance.
That's fine, but he went to 2 different clubs and showed nothing.
Look, I'm not trying to fault Tuchel as much, but I'm not trying to side with Boli. But there were some things that was going on in the back that were kind of obvious. There was a lot of young players that did seem unhappy, that did want to leave the club. Like the fact to even leave young players that want to leave Chelsea Football Club to just get playing time, it's kind of nuts. And on top of that,
that's also normal.
You had you were crying out for a midfielder. Carne still didn't get any minutes in. Fully healthy.
18, bro.
But you were literally crying out for a midfielder.
Yeah,
you were lacking depth in midfield and N'Golo Kante injured. Anyway, it just there was some patterns going on.
You tell me a kid that wasn't even an out-and-out starter for Villa is going to be an out-and-out starter for Chelsea?
Hold up. We never said starter. He never said starter. But Mo, listen, I have a question. Mo, do you think any other managers in the world could have managed this squad better? I'm not talking about results. I'm talking about keeping people happy and playing players while also getting some form of results.
In terms of when you look at the context of you don't have a director of football, you fired Marino, who's handling negotiations of contracts. You fired Bruce Buck, who's the chairman for a long time. I'm not a big fan of Bruce Buck, but at least there's a semblance of stability in the club. When you consider like all those important positions in the ownership side of things or the manager side of things being let go, I don't think there's many coaches in the world that could have handled that. Maybe Pep could have done it, right? Maybe Klopp could have done it. Jose and Ancelotti, like the elite managers could have maybe done it, but there's very few that could have done it.
I'm not talking about perfection. I'm just saying he could have done things better.
Of course,
it was a tough situation. Better. It was a tough situation, and I understand that. But I felt like there were certain things that did not make sense, and obviously there's reasons why they don't make sense. But it doesn't remove the fact that they still don't make sense.
Of course, you could have done things better. I'm not saying you couldn't have done things better, but I'm saying considering everything going on, what he did was really well. Like, it was a really good job. I can't fault him for the slight deficiencies when you're considering everything you have to deal with. Because you're not going to be perfect at the whole job. You know what I mean? We're nitpicking a couple of players that are unhappy, but we also have to consider the fact that he had a whole sanction that he had to deal with all the end of last season. That definitely provided a lot of stress on him. You have to consider the fact that he's also dealing with a whole bunch of other players that are being let go, like Christensen and Rudiger, that are leaving, and he has to manage their situations, right? Yep. He has to deal with a whole bunch of the aging midfield that's getting old, and he has to chop and change, figure out what works, right? And at the same time, aside from even that, I don't want to bring it up, but his own personal life is like was falling
the
apart.
divorce.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
No.
Considering
I understand that.
The way that he got fired on the 100th game. Yes, he lost the game, but what he did for the club, he deserved way more time.
100%. Look, I come off as like Bowley on Bowley's side. I am totally against the sacking. Like, it was way too early in the season. The results, they were bad. Let's be fair. I'm not completely honest.
I was telling my cousin, shout out.
The performances were bad too.
I was telling my cousin, I personally, if I was in Todd's situation, I'd give him till after the World Cup.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of players that obviously are going to kind of become lazy, especially come October, November, because they don't want to get injured before the World Cup, right? And I think giving him a period of time, maybe a month after the World Cup, to really assess if he can go, like if he can actually take this team to like a top three, I guess, in the sense like we're along with Liverpool and City and like dominating the league. I think you give him this bit of the season, kind of work out the new players, right? After the World Cup, then you give him like that month period to see, okay, how's he doing? Where's it going? And if it's not working out,
Christmas
then you start looking. I'm not even saying sacking. We start looking for a new coach. So come summertime, you get rid of him. You say, okay, look, you know what? It didn't really work out. We're gonna get rid of you.
Mo, I have a crazy question. It's a little bit deep, but just follow me. Pause. But the Chelsea culture is based around winning and performance. You need to get your results, otherwise you are out the door. Do you not feel like the fan base and their hunger for trophies and success and immediate success, not the long-term build, but the immediate success? Like, for example, if you go on Twitter, the moment you guys lose a game, maybe there's some sane fans, but a lot of Chelsea fans are, oh, this guy, he's unbelievable, we want him out. Like, you guys don't really give players a lot of second chances. And I'm saying that, like, I don't really mean that all the way, but for the most part, I don't see you guys as giving players too many chances. Do you feel like the fan base, maybe not you, but do you feel like the general fan base is complicit when decisions like these happen? Like, for example, Lampard getting let go or Tuchel getting let go. Do you guys not feel like the pressure that you guys put on the club and the club's culture directly lead to things like this happening?
I'm gonna say, for one, I don't think it's just a Chelsea club thing that does that, because you look on Twitter.
No.
Reddit,
let me clarify. Let me clarify. I'm speaking specifically about Chelsea. So without a comparison, are you able to give me some form of answer?
I just say it's a fan thing, right? And I think that it's the owners who have to kind of differentiate between what's actually good for the club and what the fans want. Like I said previously about United, right? The fans want X, Y, Z, but it's not always right. Mm-hmm. They wanted Sancho, they wanted this, they wanted that. And I'm using it as an example to just kind of clarify my point. They wanted these high-profile wingers, they wanted this and that, but what they really needed was a CDM. And some fans definitely say we need a CDM. And the ownership should have just said, that's what's best for the club. Forget the Sanchos of the world. Forget, I don't know, Anthony's working out for them, but forget Anthony. Let's get a CDM, right? And they got one with Casemiro eventually. But you know what I mean? They should have the owners should look at the club critically and say, okay, what do we actually need? The fans at the end of the day will be happy with just winning. You win, the fans won't say nothing. You start losing is when they start saying stuff, right? And so this ownership should have looked at the club and said, what is best for the club right now? It's not fine. I don't think firing Tuchel is best for the club. Sure, he might not be your long-term vision. He might not be your long-term plan. But I think you definitely needed a director of football first.
Yeah.
Right. I think that should have been the first thing that they got. They figure out after that what transfers are coming in. They make good deals. And if it doesn't work out with Tuchel, it doesn't work out at that point.
Yeah.
No,
But
I understand that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying let's put the owners to the side for a second, right? Because I know the owners make the decisions, but the fan base does have an effect. Whether the
100%.
owners listen or not, that's besides the point. The fan base has an effect in the stadium and about the decisions as well, as minutely as it might seem. Is the fan base complicit in decisions like this happening?
I wouldn't say they're complicit because with this specific sacking, for example,
Partially complicit.
There's a lot of fans who are going, yo, man, I'm tired of this. Tuchel needs to go. Da 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 da. Now that he got fired, those same fans are going, yo, that was too quick of a decision. You know what I mean? Like they're reactionary, and naturally they'll be complicit. They don't have the power of decision. They can say whatever they want. They don't have the power of decision. You'll naturally be complicit. Like, what am I going to do that now that Tuchel got fired? I can't do nothing. I can't rehire him.
Yeah.
Right? Naturally, I'm complicit in this going on. I can have my grievances. I can say what I want to say, but I'm complicit. I'm still following Chelsea. That's still my team.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right,
Great
let's
point.
move on. We got a couple questions that we got to get through with Chelsea. First question from Ibrahim. How will Chelsea look under Potter? Is he just a small team manager? Question mark.
I don't know if he's a small team manager. I don't know. Like, we'll see. I think that part of the answer, we'll see how he does with Chelsea. To say that he's only a manager can manage small teams.
Is it fair to say he's proven though? Like, it's a little too soon for that because
I would
people
say
like
not.
he's
This is his
Premier League
chance.
proven and all. Yeah.
This is his
He's a
chance.
Premier League manager for sure.
A quality one. I've been telling you, I've been big on him. So like, I gotta say, although Tuchel got fired, I'm happy Potter was the one that was hired. Because I seen Mauricio Pochettino getting thrown around. I was begging. I'm like, no, please not that guy, bro.
Really? You didn't want Pochettino?
No, I don't want him at all.
Thing is, like with Graham, like he's never like these are some big players he's gonna have to deal with. There's just more to just coaching a football club. You know, there's contracts, there's egos, there's so much going on in the background. I don't think he's ever had to deal with this.
I think a lot of the Chelsea players are coachable. Like our best players are Thiago Silva, Reece James, Sterling, Mason Mount,
big time leaders, good experience.
Kovacic, Jorginho, Conte. These are all guys that are coachable. Every coach that they've played with they've been coachable under them. The guys that weren't really coachable, Lukaku got shipped, Ziyech who's still here but like keeps a low profile for the most part. Pulisic keeps a low profile. And I can't even say Pulisic's not coachable. That's not even fair to him. But like our team is generally a coachable team. There's no like big personality that like overshadows what the or tries to overshadow what the manager's doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm with that. All right, let's go through the next question. Big Fish, how much time are you giving Potter, and is he going to suck up to the new ownership?
Brand new contract. How much time are we giving him, Mo?
He got a 5-year contract, bro. I think he's here for a long time.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
I did not notice.
5 years, and it's 12 mil a year.
Yeah, he's here for
12 million euros, I believe. Yeah.
I think they had to pay Brighton a fee just to get him
7 million
mid-season. Yeah, I think it was more than that. I heard it was in the 20 range. But
it was falsely reported. 7 million.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. I mean, he has to finish top 4 no matter what with his Chelsea squad.
I don't think so.
No, you have to.
I do not think so.
Not this
Chelsea
season.
though.
He doesn't have to. He should.
Chelsea just
he doesn't. He'll be criticized.
2 cup finals and a top 4 finish, and we
Well, we got rid of that coach. If we're being honest, he took a downgrade. I like Potter. I think he's a dope manager, but it's a downgrade on Tuchel as of right now. From what we've seen, like Tuchel's the better manager. We'll see. He could be. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I agree though. I agree with that.
I think his main goal is to make Chelsea watchable and play good football for this season, and to start building patterns of play that are replicable, and the fan base enjoying watching football again, because I don't think it was that enjoyable under Tuchel. Mo, correct me if I'm wrong, but
at times,
majority of the time
when we were flying, oh man, it was liquid football.
Yeah,
but then
I hear what Big Fish
recently. No,
but yeah, exactly.
No, but I hear what Big Fish is saying. I don't think Potter is the type. He's not gonna, make some demands like Tuchel was doing. So I feel like he's gonna be just a coach. Strictly a coach, nothing else.
That's what Tuchel wanted to be. That's the annoying part.
But when you're a big time manager like Tuchel, a world class manager, you need to make those demands, to compete with the best. So I don't think Potter's going to do the same.
Director of football that he could relate to and talk to or whatever about and they have a similar vision. That's all he wanted.
Yeah. One more thing I want to bring up, Tuchel. I feel like I'm coming off as a hater today, but there was previous issues, almost similar at Dortmund with Sven Mislintat. He had issues with them. They got rid of Mislintat, and then they literally sacked Tuchel to save season.
Okay, let's talk about
There's a lot
that.
of recruitment issues.
Let's talk about that. The issue with
more
Dortmund
info
was the issue started when there was there was the bombing or whatever in the European competition, and they wanted Dortmund to play. And he said, I don't want my players to play. That's where the issue started. And then Sven Mislintat went to Arsenal, right?
Yeah, after,
correct?
Whatever
and
they
what do you guys
dropped,
think
or
of
he
Sven
left them.
Mislintat?
Very bad, actually, at the moment. We can probably do a whole episode about it.
All right. Is Tuchel not validated in that?
In terms of recruitment, maybe. Yeah.
Not really.
But for Dortmund,
what's
Mislintat
his
made
track
those
record
big
for
signings.
Dortmund? Yeah. Come on, man.
I mean, he left.
Dortmund,
And
he pretty much built Dortmund.
He left, and they got Haaland. They got Jude Bellingham. They
Stop.
got.
but he left
Their team was better before then.
Yeah.
Their team was better before
in
then.
terms of young talent.
Yes,
Yeah, he signed Royce, Lewandowski.
Bro.
He got Aubameyang. Like he built the foundation.
Dembele.
Yeah.
They had Götze. They had Dahoud. They had all these good players. They had Guerrero early, who I think is still class. Come on, man. They had a great team.
Yeah.
That's my favorite Dortmund team, honestly. The one with Aubameyang, Dembele, Pulisic. And who's the other? And Royce, sorry. Pulisic.
Yeah. We could have seen Aubameyang 2.0. So sad. But let's move on. Next question from Rory. Is there pressure on Potter to have Havertz in the starting lineup because of value and Champions League final goal? Good question.
Yes, but I think that Graham Potter, he has a blank canvas right now, so he's able to do what he wants, and he can just say he's trying things to experiment. But I think that it is a little bit results-based in the beginning because you want to get the fan base on your side. You want to get those first 2-3 wins. And those first 2-3 wins, let's say you get 3 wins in a row, that will be more valuable than 3 wins at any other time in your Chelsea career, I think. So, just having a good start and starting off on the right foot is important. So I think he's going to have the freedom to do what he wants. But once he kind of figures out who works for him and who doesn't, then, that's when you're going to be able to see if Havertz is going to be there or not.
Yeah, I don't know why I see.
I promise you that.
I agree. And I think he's actually going to play the 10, like legit the 10 under Potter.
I could see him playing the McAllister role, bro. If he does the same
That's what
team
I'm
setup.
thinking. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And they kind of thrive in that Brighton team with that formation. So I'm kind of mad that we didn't have Premier League this weekend because now Potter's going to get that time with Chelsea to figure things out.
Shout out to the Chelsea fan, the Queen, who decided to, you know what I'm saying? So Potter could get Liverpool time to train, you know what I'm saying?
Wait, so Mount, would it be better than McAllister role? Sorry?
I feel like he might rotate
more
Mount
like
on the
Havertz.
wing.
I think they're more like Havertz.
I really want to see his preferred 11. I want to see his best 11, who he actually falls in love with and who he wants to play. I really want to see who's there and who's not.
I could see Mount playing more like Gross.
Yeah. Just coming off the right wing, maybe. Because the right winger position is kind of dead for y'all. So, yeah. And Sterling on the left. We'll see. Hopefully there's Premier League next weekend. Last question for Chelsea from Ross. This one is for Mo. Which Brighton players would he like to see Potter bring to Chelsea?
McAllister, Trossard, and
Big Tross.
Caicedo's not bad.
Those are the 3.
Caicedo's disgusting.
Maybe a keeper.
Caicedo is the guy that you guys should have got instead of Zakaria.
Sanchez.
One thing we got to look out for. Kepa might become starting keeper again.
Ariffe?
I don't know about that.
Ariffe.
He looked good in the Champions League.
Wait,
I ain't gonna lie.
Ariffe, you're supposed to agree with that.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I thought you're anti-Mendy.
I'm not.
It's
I'm
not even an anti-Mendy,
bro. I've stated so many times that Mendy's still one of the best keepers in the world. But
it's a strong statement. I don't know if I agree.
I'm just saying, bro. The way that Brighton play, it's really keepers really got to be good with their feet. I can see Kepa getting a chance again at being the starting keeper.
You never know. Okay, we need to move on. Let's talk Liverpool boys. Question from Omar Agrao.
Uh-oh.
What's going wrong at the red side of Merseyside? Merseyside. Misspelled. But who wants to start off here?
No midfield.
I think it's more than that, man.
No midfield.
At this point,
cannot play right back. There's no midfield covering for him whenever he goes up.
Hold on. Okay. Let's talk Trent solely on Trent right now. Ace.
Wait. No. Let me get my general shit out first. Come on.
I think we need to talk about Trent because I think you've been dodging it a bit. I think you've been dodging.
I'm not dodging it. I never dodge. Talk to me.
You only brought it up in the Champions League final. the one mistake he made, but you haven't really brought it up as much.
Okay.
You're very big. You're very big. You were talking big when you said Trent over Reece,
100%.
Trent over all these other right backs in the world.
Yeah.
What's going on now? What's your thoughts on him?
I think that it's a general statement, but it applies to Trent. I think the team is lacking effort, and I think there's not a lot of character being shown. If you looked at the Champions League game against Napoli, there was one through ball that went in on the right side. Trent was standing still. Fabinho was standing still. Somebody else was standing still. And basically the guy got slipped in and he took a shot and he scored. Or it might have been a deflection, then he scored after. But it was pathetic. And I said, this is not the Liverpool that I know or that I came to know. This is the Liverpool of the current. Even now, seems like there's problems in the dressing room where, you know, if Milner is berating Van Dijk, your future captain, live in front of everybody about effort and positioning, then something's wrong. Because I'm sure that's a conversation that can happen. But in front of, like, on live on national TV, that just screams problems in the dressing room. I don't think the players are meshing well. I think that Darwin Núñez is a good player. I think he's a bagsman. He's a traditional striker who score goals, but I don't know if he necessarily fits the Liverpool system. Salah is a ghost. I do not know who this guy is.
Yeah.
I do not know who this guy is. There's the absence of Mane, and I feel like Mane's presence. I think I was talking with Yassine in one of the leagues that we play in. There's this one guy on our team who he doesn't really come, but when he plays, everybody's level and intensity goes up. I think Mane was that guy because he always played with a little bit of an edge. All of his duels, he's winning them. And if he's not winning them, he's running back on defense. So there's a lot of intangibles that are missing now that Mane's gone. You have Diaz, who's an absolute skiller. He's a baller. There's certain intangibles that aren't there. You know, there's the midfield issue where, you know, you don't really have the engined workhorse midfield. You don't really have the techie guys like Thiago fit, you know? So it's like Fabinho there with Milner and Henderson, and none of them are playing well. Your center backs are a myth. They're an absolute myth. Van Dijk is playing terrible. Gomez is playing terrible. Your best center back in Matip's out. Your second best center back in Konate's out. And I mean that. But there's a lot going on.
So disrespectful.
Tsimikas is a great player. I think Tsimikas is a great player. But he's not Robertson. He's not Robertson. And I think that when you try to bring a player into the fold, when a team is doing bad, then, you know, they're set up for failure a little bit, and I guess that's all you can do. But still, so there's a lot of problems going on, and I will say Trent is not playing well. I'm disappointed in what I'm seeing, and I want him to be the one to step up and lead the team out of that. But I don't know if that's in his skill set. I'm not saying that's not in his character. I don't think that's in his skill set. He's not, like, for example, if this was like a Salah who can just score a goal, get them out of trouble, or if this was like a midfielder who can just run up and down and really, like, put some passion into the team. But I don't think it's in Trent's skill set to do that. He's not playing well, and I want to see him do better.
I agree.
So
that's my Liverpool rant.
All that to say, Trent. All that to say, what about Trent?
That's why I ended off with Trent.
Else but Trent.
That's why I ended off. I began and I ended off with Trent.
Your Trent was one sentence. He just doesn't.
What do you want me to say?
Listen. The defense is woeful.
The defense is woeful.
It's poor, man. Did you see that
Anguissa goal? The whole back four is poor. The only player who's playing somewhat okay is Alisson.
No, but I think
Alisson and Diaz.
Alisson and Diaz. No, I disagree. The fullbacks, I think, are at most fault for most of it. Yeah, we could talk about the midfield. We'll get into that after. But, like, Trent and Robertson, it's not the same. It's not there. I don't know what's going on with them. Maybe they're, you know, overplayed. Maybe all the past seasons of playing 38 league games, all these Champions League fixtures without rest, it's finally caught up to them. I know Trent doesn't really have as much cover like Robertson does. I know they signed a right back. I'm not too sure who he is. But it's just not there right now, man. It's really not there. But you guys want to talk about the midfield?
Yeah. They don't have one. That's it.
Harvey Elliott's not a midfielder.
Yeah, he had a howler.
He's not a midfielder. I don't blame him, though. He's not a midfielder. He's a right winger.
He is a right winger.
But I think he's going to grow into the midfield role.
He can play there, but he's a right winger.
I think he can
for Liverpool. Take your chances. Yeah.
I think positionally he lacks a bit of awareness, so he makes that up by running a lot. So you'll see him running. You feel like he's doing the right things, but he's just not in the right places where you need him to be. That's due to inexperience. He's not a midfielder.
If you have two solid midfielders, in a midfield three, I think he could be the third one. I think
who's the solid midfielders? There's zero.
That's the problem, right? That's the thing. And even then, even still, Harvey Elliott's looking like their best midfielder.
Yeah. I don't know, is it? But there's something else with the midfield right now. Like where before, everybody talk about the football manager, Jurgen Klopp, the gegenpress, Like I don't know if it's just me saying this, but seems to be no lack of intensity from that Liverpool midfield, like we've seen in previous seasons. Like it just seems dead. Everything is just going through them, and I feel like the Napoli game just kind of defined it. Like literally, their midfield is just getting ripped through. Yeah, and that's why, like, I hate as a defender, I hate to put blame. I'm a little bit biased. I always try to avoid as much blame on the keeper and defenders because I just try to see what's going on in front of them. And Anguissa and I can't even pronounce his name. We're just ripping them through the midfield. Literally ripping them. Zielinski is a guy I want to talk about. I think Liverpool.
I've been saying I like that guy.
Liverpool should have signed him a long time ago. He should be in this Liverpool squad right now. He should be starting for this Liverpool squad right now. He is a problem. But no, we have to talk about that one kid. I still don't know how to pronounce his name. He got Serie A Player of the Month for Napoli. He just signed for them for 10 million. Koicha Kuarat Shaklia. My bad, bro. But you are a baller. You are an absolute baller. If you guys are watching it for Napoli, he is disgusting. But yeah, he's doing work, and he bodied Liverpool. But.
Side note, I think Napoli has probably the best recruitment in world football after like Dortmund. Like early stage recruitment, I don't think there's a team better than them, other than maybe Dortmund. They're just too good. They're just too good.
Yeah,
they have star-studded teams every year, and not necessarily like superstar, but like great players.
Yeah, and they're top of, if I'm not mistaken, they're top of the league right now too for Napoli, which everyone thought there's going to be a transition period where you lost Insigne, who's been one of your club captain, one of your best players for a long time. Dries Mertens, who's been like one of your best forwards since Higuain and Maradona, and then Koulibaly, who's been their best defender ever of all Napoli lifetime. But yeah, it's very impressive what's going on there. But in terms of Liverpool and this midfield, I don't know, man. There's something going on.
I gotta know. I have a question. What happened to Fabinho?
Yeah, he's looking shaky. He's looking shaky right now.
But he's fell off a cliff in terms of like ability.
Yeah.
I really want to know what happened. Like where he looked like one of the best CDMs in the world to a guy that shouldn't even be playing in the Premier League.
Yeah,
a little too far.
That's a little bit strong, but I understand your point.
So bad.
I think we're slowly getting a glimpse into the fact that a lot of these Liverpool players aren't stars on their own, but when they come together as a collective, they're unstoppable. So, for example, I don't want to pigeonhole Van Dijk, but Van Dijk is a great player, one of the best center backs we've seen. Not the best, but one of the best. But when he doesn't have that partner that suits him or can play on his level or is at his level / better than him, he doesn't look as good. Same thing with Salah. When he doesn't have that guy in the middle, whether it's Mane, whether it's the inform Firmino, he doesn't look as good. When Fabinho doesn't have that great midfielder beside him in Thiago or whoever, he doesn't look that good. And, in football, they always say if your spine is weak, then, your team is weak. And right now the spine is plastic. And then now it's like a domino effect. Everybody's falling over, but I don't think it's permanent. I think they can get out of it. Now that Premier League's postponed and then there's international break, hopefully they have time to maybe recover. And then, maybe they can come back and start again.
Yeah. I do think Liverpool got away with not getting another beating this weekend. But last question from Adam related to Liverpool. I feel like Liverpool shouldn't have gotten Nunes and have gotten Fofana, Rice, and Jude. So it's more of a statement.
Jude wasn't an option this season.
Jude was definitely not an option. Declan Rice, with that same price tag, they probably could have got him.
No.
Fofana, I don't think. Fofana, they didn't need him.
West Ham
Declan Rice was 150.
They wanted 150. They could have not got him.
I feel like they could have got away with 100.
No way.
West Ham put 100.
Chelsea would have done it then.
Yeah, they put Chelsea 150 price tag on him. They said we're not selling this 150 bags.
You guys might be right. Yeah.
And then Fofana was the last one.
Yeah.
Bro, Fofana.
They didn't. I don't think they need another center back.
They have too many. They have too many first choice center backs.
It's not even them. Let's be honest. Joe Gomez before the injury, people would have been like, I take Joe Gomez over Fofana.
Yeah.
Like no Liverpool fan before the injury would have taken Fofana now over Joe Gomez then.
Yeah, and there's no way Fofana's playing over Matip, maybe even Konate. Like Konate is like 3 times the size of Fofana. So I'll definitely take Konate, a guy who can run as fast too. So I don't know. I think we're being a little too unfair on Nunes. It's a little too soon. He literally just arrived at England. It's been 7 games.
Nunes
played with a red card. So he pretty much technically played 4 matches, if I'm not mistaken.
Nunes has nothing to do with any of these Liverpool issues.
Yeah, nothing. Not a player absolutely nothing.
That was bought, that he replaced somebody similar, nothing like that. He's a player they never had. It's going to take time for him to fit in the system. He's already scoring goals. He's already doing his job.
Yeah. I hear that.
It has nothing to do with currently what the Liverpool setups, like the issues they're having.
Yeah. All right, boys, we need to move on. We got a couple more minutes left, so we're going to go straight to our Q&A. First question from Adil. Does Martinelli make it to the Brazil's World Cup squad?
No.
This is laughable. Laughable.
Bro,
of course he is.
Did you know the roster?
Yes, I know that. I know that. Right? But did you guys know that Tite was at the Arsenal game, I think the last one, and after that he had a conversation with Arteta, and Arteta was basically saying, don't take my players, whatever they need to rest. So now Tite, he's able to field more of the Brazilian players who never got chances. So now he's able to figure out who can make the last couple spots in the squad. All of the Arsenal players are going. Gabriel's going, and Gabriel's going.
I don't think
all Gabriels are going.
No, but look at
all 3.
There's a Martinelli.
Even Gabriel Marquinhos too. Did you see the Europa game? But anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Mo.
Okay, Martinelli might go.
Gabby.
He might go, but I don't see him getting game time. You have Neymar, you have Rodrigo,
but they're going.
Vinicius, they're all going, and I think they're playing before Martinelli. I don't think he's and Richarlison as well. I think plays before Martinelli.
Gabby
is playing before
Jesus
Martinelli.
Is playing better than him.
Yeah, so I'm saying I'm naming 5 players I think are going to get playing time over Martinelli. Martinelli might go. He might be on the squad, but I don't think he's getting minutes.
Martinelli is one of those. If a player gets injured, he's going to be called up. Him or Jesus.
They're all going.
Martinelli's a tough one because the winger spot is the tough one. Let's be fair, but everything like Gabriel Ace, can you help me with his last name?
Malahailas.
I swear you change it every time.
He should have been on the squad. No, he should have been on the squad.
Wait, I forgot. There's other players. Rafinha.
Rafinha's on the squad. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Martinelli's
starting. Rafinha's starting.
Is Cunha on the squad?
Who?
Cunha's on the squad.
Barbosa, who's just I don't know how he's always on the squad. Barbosa, Gabriel Barbosa. He's not making. You don't think he's going to make the World Cup?
No. I'll tell you right now who's in the squad.
Martinelli is like a top 3 Brazilian player in form right now.
No, he's not.
What are you doing?
No, he's not.
Vinny,
what are you doing?
Vinny else is on form.
Vinny, Neymar, Martinelli.
They're all.
Everyone. Your own team is more on form than Martinelli.
Even Anthony is on form.
I think Martinelli's more informed than Jesus. Wallah.
No, he's not.
I don't think so. Of course, he's more informed than Richarlison. What are you talking about?
He's more informed than
Richarlison has been playing like 20 minutes and scoring. I'm not even.
Come on, man.
Richarlison's been on fire. I ain't gonna lie. But
Martinelli is carrying a team every game.
No, he's
Everything
not.
goes through him.
What are you talking about?
I disagree.
Saka's doing nothing.
No, fam. Martinelli's a stretch, but Gabriel Malahaias should have been on it.
All 3 of them are going. Book it. I'll bet with the guys right now.
Yeah, we'll see. But midfield is weak, though. When I'm looking at this current midfield squad, Bruno Guimaraes solid, Casemiro solid, Fabinho's been struggling.
Ariffe, you mention him every episode. You have to get his jersey now.
I know,
Bruno
right?
G, the real Bruno.
For real. All right, let's move on. Next question is from Theo. Stat Newcastle highest net spend in the Prem, but still not winning. Would it be a problem? Let's talk. What do you got? Present, future.
Accounting is for Mo. Let's go, Mo.
I'm not even accounting. I'm just saying you look at their team last season before Eddie Howe, right? And like Ashley, whenever sold the team, you look at where they were and where they are now in like a year's time, bro. You gotta give them time. Even they net spend 2-3 years in a row that they're still I think that's maybe 3 years from now you should be like, hey, and they're still like top net spend every single year. Then maybe you start questioning. Now, no, it's too soon. Eddie Howe's done wonders with the team that they had, bro. They have John Jones Shelby, who's not terrible, but he's starting. He's not starting for any of the top 6 teams.
Yeah.
That was on Love Island, bro. Like, come on.
Yeah. It's too soon. I think it's the Premier League. Everyone's spending. Nottingham Forest spent how much? Like the guys who just got promoted. I think they were top 5 spenders in all of Europe. Like,
about 20 players. Just take that in.
Yeah, nearly, which is crazy.
They're playing pickup.
They're playing FIFA career mode at this point. Theo, another question. Discuss. I believe that Casemiro would be a better signing for Liverpool than Man United.
Yes, 100%.
I agree with that too. I agree.
I think he could play with Fabinho, honestly.
I've always been on the wave. No, I've always been on the wave. Casemiro is better than Fabinho, and it's not even
Oh,
close.
that's never been a question.
It's never been a question. I think some people used to question it, Mo. But like even for Brazil, Fabinho's touching
you can't be that
bench.
disrespectful to Fabinho. Is all I'll say.
I remember back in the day, me and you had a long debate about this.
Is crazy. Because saying not even close is crazy.
Fabinho has never been better than Casemiro. Never.
I'm not saying he's been better. Arif is saying he's
never been better.
Close.
Okay, yeah, maybe that's not fair. Maybe you're right. Maybe that's not fair.
Mo, now you want to pick and choose words.
That's
Arif,
what's
let him
being
do this
said.
to you. Arif, let him do this to you. Personally, that was me. If that was me,
Personally, if it was you, you didn't say nothing.
I'm on a humble thing today, man. I'm on a humble thing. I'm being nice today.
Don't get in your head, bro.
Just saying, if that was me, boy.
Say it was not even close then. Say it's not even close then.
All right, next question from Adam. Oh my God. Next question from Adam. 5 league titles or 1 Champions League in KDB's case?
5 league titles.
That's not even a question.
Yeah, 5 league. I mean, some players would say different. Some players would want Champions League over a league title.
Those are players who already won Premier Leagues.
I think Steven Gerrard would rather take the league title.
No. I think you take a World Cup over 5 league titles. I think, question. How are we ordering these trophies? World Cup, Champions League, League Cup.
That's a good one.
Or like league titles.
Obviously, but you have to get into the numbers.
No, I'm just saying, put it in order. 1, 2, 3. Like, what would you rather win?
Of course, in
World
that
Cup
order.
is the obvious. World Cup, Champions
League title.
I'm the same.
You see, the thing is with Champions League and World Cup, like your name will never be forgotten. Like you were in that squad for that, winning that. Especially with World Cup.
You know, you'll forget a Champions League name. You will never forget a World Cup name.
Champions League, but you'll remember the winners though. You know, you'll never remember the guys. League titles is kind of hard to remember here and there. You know,
so World Cup just number 1 lock.
I'll take 1 World Cup over 3 Champions Leagues.
Oh, actually, as an Arsenal fan, as an Arsenal fan, I'll take a Champions League.
So you're taking Champions League
over a World Cup?
Yeah,
so you're a Champions World Cup?
You're crazy. You're crazy.
Just for Arsenal, man. Just for Arsenal. But if I was a player, yeah, World Cup first though.
No way, man.
No, your own personal opinion. Forget a player. So you say your own personal opinion. You're taking Champions League, then World Cup, then the league title.
All right,
you'd rather Arsenal win the Champions League than Ethiopia win the World Cup.
Ooh, putting me on the spot. Putting me on the spot.
Yeah, I love Arsenal, but come on, man.
No, be more fair. Be more fair.
F Ethiopia. Arsenal Champions League, bro. I want that Champions League, bro.
You're a pagan.
Fam, I don't care, bro. Ethiopia, we win a World Cup. We never talk. Nah, bro. I've been memed all my life that we haven't won a Champions League. For 20 years, I've been memed for not winning a Champions League. Nah, bro. I take a Champions League.
This is crazy. Wait, Mo. Somaliland wins a World Cup or
Ace. I would trade every single.
I'm sorry.
I would trade every single Chelsea. You said Somaliland. Come on, listen. We're still in morning after Queen. We're still in morning after Queen. Please respect us.
Sorry, gang.
I would take Somalia winning a World Cup. I'd trade that for every single trophy Chelsea's won in their life. In a heartbeat.
Relax, come on, man.
I'd be so quick raising that blue flag with the white start, bro. Right away.
What?
Yeah.
Right away.
Come on.
No question.
That's
hilarious. Yeah, I hope my family.
I would be so excited to see Abdi Mohammed win the World Cup, bro.
You're wild. Yeah. All right, next question from Adam. Who would you rather take right now, Haaland or Lewandowski? Ooh, Lewandowski? Lewandowski right now? Yeah. Hey, shut up, okay?
Question.
I said this last week. You guys are acting like I don't say this every week.
We can't forget Haaland's form right now, too.
No,
yes, we can.
Does the future matter in this situation? Does the future matter in this situation or no?
Let's say right now, like just for
so
this season.
It doesn't matter. So this is what they'll
to
be
make it interesting. It would be obvious if it's like for future, but like let's say right now, like this season right now.
Lewandowski is scoring every different type of goal and making every different type of assist.
Yeah. He's scoring goals kids score, man. He should score goals.
Every single thing you need to do on the pitch.
Yeah. No, he's scoring goals at 30, whatever. What is he, 34, 35? Like goals that he shouldn't be scoring.
You subtract, I think, 2 years for the Bayern doping. So it's like,
true.
Do the math.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. All right, next question from Adam. Ozil or David Silva?
Allegedly.
Ozil or David Silva, man?
Ozil.
Nah, David Silva for me.
Ozil. Bro, Ozil Real Madrid was a cheat code.
Yeah, but David Silva was proven, man. Bro, he just destroyed United. He literally just destroyed United.
United, bro. Ozil was part of that Real Madrid team that was so dominant.
Yeah, and they won 4 Champions League after he left. They literally won their first Champions League in so long.
They won the league.
He won
for the
3
first time
FA
in-
Cups.
They won the league. How long? They won the league for the first time in how many years since when he came back? They didn't start making semis consistently when he came back too. Because they were falling off around the 16s before that.
It's just one of those, like, I feel like you need to give appreciation for these, like, under the radar guys. Ozil is obviously.
This guy said
You
underrated.
already know my opinion on Ozil. I already thought he was one of the most
We
overrated
know.
players.
We know. Listen, Ozil. I think Ozil has like the time devil fruit. He can slow down time and make good decisions and just hold the ball in places you shouldn't be able to. He's fake.
A guy.
He's fake.
Let me say this: David Silva was a guy, but let's not act like people never mentioned him in 2010.
Nah, he wasn't mentioned enough, if we're being completely honest.
Because he was never the first, second best player.
He was one of the best players of City for a long time.
Aguero,
He was like
Yaya.
top three.
Aguero, Yaya.
The thing is, Aguero scoring goals, man.
Fernandinho was always better than him.
Company.
Fernandinho was always better than him.
Okay,
Facts.
that's crazy. That's crazy.
That's not
next
crazy.
question. We'll leave that question for the Discord. Next question from Big Fish. Realistically, how good would Van Persie be in today's game?
He'd be the best player in the world.
I thought you hated him.
He'd be the
joking.
worst in the world.
No. He'd be up
My
there.
bad. My bad.
He'd be in the level around
He'd be Sinogo
Benzema,
levels.
Lewandowski, or maybe a little bit under. Facts.
I think it'd be the
Facts.
tier underneath Benzema,
Yeah.
Lewandowski, and
Yeah.
like Haaland and stuff, like the tier underneath that.
No, I wouldn't say Haaland. I think Benzema, Lewandowski, he's in the tier with Haaland.
He'd be at best Lukaku. At best.
Arse
You heard
hater.
it. At best
Arse
Lukaku.
hater.
Next question from Adam. If Modric, Kroos, and Casemiro were in the Croatian national team, would they have beaten France in the 2018 World Cup final?
No.
Ooh.
They would have had a three-peat.
What?
Then the conversation would have been done.
Repeat in the World Cup.
No,
what?
Euro,
This actually-
Euro World
this-
Cup, Euro.
There's actually something I wanted to bring up because we did post a reel TikTok a couple, I think it was right after Madrid won the Champions League, about comparing Modric, Kroos, and Casemiro to Sergio Busquets, Xavi, and Iniesta. And literally all in the comments, they're all talking about their, what they won with their nationalities, right? Obviously the 2 Euros and the World Cup. These guys don't play together. They're all different nationalities. Hey, what's wrong with you idiots, man? Hey, I can't, bro. It's ridiculous. I don't get it, man. The mindsets is just different, and then they call us stupid Americans. I'm convinced.
That delivery was 10 out of 10.
I'm not gonna say anything.
That delivery was 10 out of 10. Oh,
Next question. Same question. Also, not a question, but like, how do you guys not mention Suarez for a shout for third best player of this gen? He's so underrated.
Honestly,
He's
oversight.
not. He's not.
As a shot, as a third best player,
Top 5 though. I think he's.
you can argue a lot of players for third was the point. That was it. He would
It's
definitely be someone
Neymar.
you can make an argument for it. Bro, it's not out and out
It's
Neymar.
Neymar. Yes, it
I personally
is.
thought.
What are you guys talking about? This is crazy, man.
I don't know, man. Luis
I honestly
Suarez
can't
at
believe this.
Liverpool.
No.
Uruguay.
I think we need to debate this one day.
We got a couple more questions, so let's get through them. Next question is from me, Justice, on our Discord. Could this season prove that Ronaldo would be a better sub than Messi, since Ten Hag obviously prefers him as a sub?
You know what's interesting? I was gonna say, I know it's analytics, but there was a Tifo, shout out Tifo, whatever, their IRL or whatever, their YouTube channel. They did a thing about analytics and then looking at, I guess, the best strikers or whatever it is. And they compared Ronaldo to Messi last year, and Messi was better than him analytically. I'm just saying. Anyways, go ahead. Keep going.
Interesting. We got to get through these questions.
You
so
care
I'm gonna
about
skip that
numbers,
one.
but not about the Champions League and World Cup numbers, but okay.
Next question from Ahmed. Is Harry on the bench the key for success, United men's?
It is the most important thing they could do.
No.
But honestly, if you really think about it, they have a brand new backline with new fullbacks. No Wan-Bissaka, no Luke Shaw, no Maguire. It's a brand new backline, and everybody looks more comfortable. So I think Maguire is one of the keys, but it's also a lot of places outside of the defense too.
I think this whole Harry Maguire thing is going too far in the direction of his trash. If let's not forget, not last season, but season before, like before the Euros, he was there. They didn't lose without him in that last period. But once he got injured, they started losing a lot.
So
to
2
say
years ago.
he's not quality. But my point is, he's still quality. He might not be
next
good
question.
for this system, but
Yeah.
he's not the worst.
Next question from me, Justice. Will Arsenal get out of the Europa League group considering their lacking squad depth? Yes, they will. It's I'm very curious to see what happens with the PSV game. I do think we destroyed what's their name? the Swiss club. It was a little too easy. We should have scored a lot more. I feel like the scoreline didn't really replace.
Zurich.
Yeah, Zurich. Yeah, we're gonna get out of the group stage. I think it's right now. It's it's an easy thing. No disrespect. I know you support the Bod limit, but yeah, it's an easy group stage for Arsenal this season. Another
By the way,
Arsenal question.
I don't like Zurich. I got profiled in the airport. Let's cook them again. But yeah, next question.
I agree with Zurich. You deserved it. Next question.
Blue Lives Matter, Mo. Back at it again.
Next question from Heiko Nasser. Is Fabio Vieira good? I don't want to make any judgments, but I loved what I see so far. Like, he's definitely a midfielder. I don't think I suit him as a winger. He's definitely an attacking midfielder. I don't see him. I think people kind of thought he'd be covering for Xhaka and Partey. No, that's not the case. He's a 10 or at best a 10, or maybe he'll drift in for Saka for cover. But other than that, I like what I'm seeing so far. I'm not going to judge just as yet, but I like what I'm seeing. But a player I am very impressed with is Marquinhos, who played on the wing, played actually right wing back, had a goal and assist for Arsenal. So
don't forget Eddie, goal and assist too.
You know what you got to look out for?
Green links.
The only reason he's came into my head is because he's also Portuguese. PSG's Vitinha, bro.
Vitinha is an animal.
Sick.
Yeah,
that guy's so good.
Yeah.
Anyways,
next question from Masalam. Similar to the earlier question, Maguire starting is a common factor in Man United's losses. Why does he still get played? They need depth. They don't have depth there. They got to rotate.
Yes, they do.
He's not the
you
common
can't play
factor.
Varane and you can't play Varane and thing Martinez every game, right? So you have to. You have to play Maguire.
He's English, so he has to play.
Your captain too. So
he costs 80 million.
Yeah. Next question.
He has the dressing room. There's a lot of reasons outside of football.
There it is.
Oh,
next question from Amaya. Can Haaland win City the Champions League? He could be the different factor, man. Bro, if Haaland wins Man City the Champions League, bro, that could be like the biggest legacy. I don't know. Like,
can we restructure?
Say it again?
I think the question needs to be restructured to: can Haaland help KDB win the Champions League?
Yes, exactly. There we go.
He can definitely help them. I honestly, they're my favorites this season to win the Champions League.
PSG,
like Madrid, I'm just concerned about Benzema. PSG,
Neymar is on demon time.
Yeah, wait till when is the birthday? I don't know. So,
World Cup. He's not taking the breaks.
All right, next question from Twitter from Sadiq McLovin. A couple of episodes ago, you guys cooked Mo Salah for drafting my guy. Since then, he has continued to have amazing defense performances and 1 goal and assist. Can we get an apology for the slander? He's talking about Højbjerg. No apology from me just as yet. He has been really good this season. I think people are trying to move.
He was really good last season.
The Mo Salahs of the world are trying to move like he filled in for what's his name again? Dembele. Like already has fulfilled the Dembele role.
No, I never mentioned Dembele. I'm just saying,
I'll move it like he's already
the same role.
You know, he's already fixed that Tottenham midfield. I feel like he could be one of the more replaceable midfielders in that squad.
I think that Bentancur is the main character. Højbjerg plays better because Bentancur is there. So I'm not gonna give him the full credit, but he is playing a lot better than I thought he would be.
In the midfield. Bentancur
is their best midfielder.
Højbjerg is always the common factor. Is all I'm saying. You know,
Bissouma did have a good game against Marseille in the Champions League, so it's getting there. But last question from Sadiq. Also, and this one's directly at Mo. When is Big Fish coming on the episode? I'll be asking this question until it happens. Mo Salah, we're waiting. What's going on?
Big Fish, when you coming on the episode?
Next question from Big Fish, actually. If you had a child and had the option of them going from academy all the way to first team, what academy would you pick? I think I would pick a German academy. I feel like the development there is a lot better for young kids and get a lot more opportunity in terms of playing. Where in Premier League, it's a lot of stress, a lot of competition, and obviously they're buying players and then players don't even get playing time. I don't know. It's a sticky one. But if I had to pick, I'd tell my boy, go to Germany. Try. I
say go to Spain. You get the best fundamentals.
I hear Portuguese is good.
There's lots of plot. It's Ajax. It's always Ajax.
Oh yeah,
True.
Never mind.
Yeah, you're right. All right. Final question from that Ethiopian. This one. Listen carefully.
There's another problem.
Is a soft foul more likely to be called by a ref if it's in the box or in the middle of the park? Thoughts,
In
Mo?
the box. In the box. It's
In the box.
getting called back for it right away.
Shout out to everybody who's seen the clip on the story when Mo and our other brother, that Ethiopian, were arguing. And yes, this is him proving his point. So shout out to Ado.
I'm
Great
telling you
member of
right
the
now,
community.
Mo,
You answer the
listen, I
question.
know you can beat us in arguments sometimes, not
Answer
all the
the
time.
question.
Ado's the final boss.
Ado,
Ado's the final boss.
Answer his
Ado's
question.
Ganondorf. Ado
Answer
is
his
Ganondorf.
question.
Literally.
Answer his
Ado
question.
is Ganondorf. You can't beat
Answer
him.
his question. Answer the question. Y'all ain't answering the question.
This is between you and him.
I gotta go now. The wife and kid just came in. We're gonna call it now. Thank you everybody for listening. We'll see you all next week. Take care. Peace.
And with that, we are out.